There's a wonderful interview Ashish Nandi gave to Chris Lydon years ago, and Lydon asks him what Indianness is, and he says that India, in a way, it's a culture so rich in its diversity that all possibilities are represented as vectors that they may or may not manifest, but they are sort of charged, and the possibilities exist for these vectors to manifest. And in a way, this book, as was the first book of Unbuilt work, is a representation of all of these incredible vectors from which one approaches habitation, approaches equity, approaches democracy, publicness. All of these wonderful notions, are larger sort of ambitions as architects. That these projects, they represent all of these ambitions that we aspire to as architects, or at least that's the hope in the compendium that we've compiled as jurors. And so the charge right at the beginning of architecture that is of the commons, of people coming together, a sort of a collective expression. This was the sort of basis on which a lot of these selections were made. And so we're hoping that having access to these wonderful ideas about all of these aspirations that one has, that then looking at them, one is using them to then confront the world with, that these are a set of propositions that then help us to mediate with the world, to negotiate with the world. And it is, in my mind, that is really the value of this work, that there is the potential that one could take a look at an idea proposed by a young student in Ahmedabad or a senior architect in the South, that you would take these ideas that never came to fruition and you would deploy them as armory to negotiate with the world, and that in that negotiation something of great value may be produced. So it's wonderful, what Architecture Live has initiated in compiling these propositions that then help us, to engage with the world. It's also interesting that the compendium is a mix of both very, very young practitioners, students, and senior practitioners, all of them sort of working either in terms of hypothetical propositions through their thesis projects or through projects that have been self-initiated. But there are also projects that were real projects that just never were realized. And what ties all of them together is that rather than looking at this as a set of projects, we were all concerned about the critical value of these propositions. That how does one confront or how does one negotiate with the set conditions one was confronted with. And so hopefully you will find value in these projects and their propositions, and they will help imagine new ways in which you negotiate with the real world.